we'll touch on a couple of teams we didn't cover in the top four market, Mark, but you have your sights in the top six. It's just the way we've set it up at Matchbook. We've top four, top six. Obviously, likely that fifth place will once again go to an English team for the Champions League, but we'll wait and see. But if you're betting in the top six market on Matchbook, Mark, you've picked out two teams, and two teams we haven't spoken about yet, in Brighton and Bournemouth. Talk to us a little bit about the thinking here. You think both are worth a bet in this market?
Yeah, I just think they're decent prices. I think Brighton have got top six material about them. As we're talking, there is speculation about Van Heck's future, which would be a concern. He's their best centre-half, and he's hugely progressive in the last couple of years. But with Brighton, you've got to trust them that there is always a succession plan in place. He might weaken them a little bit, but as we saw last year with a lot of changeover, they're still capable of sort of punching way above their weight into the top half. And no European football is a significant advantage. They only missed out in the Europa League by one place last season anyhow. And considering the squad turnover last summer, they did a lot of business in and out. Also a rookie coach in his first campaign, very young guy. It was a bit of a transitional year, and they still managed their second best top flight finish. And I do think there's room for improvement in what is quite a young squad. Just the 8 clean sheets, worst defence in the top 14. Need improvements there, but only 4 sides scored more goals than they, and their data was largely impressive too. Where can they improve? Well, they failed to beat a relegated team at home. That should, in theory, be rectifiable. And they only lost 9 times overall in the Premier League, same as Man City. So despite being unable to field an unchanged side at any point in the season because of injuries and issues, that bit them quite hard actually at times. So there was a lack of consistency, but I think Hertzler and his team will have learnt a lot. So I do think there's areas for improvement. I don't think that's been reflected in the general market. The assumption is because last year we had a lot of big boys struggling and suffering, it won't happen this time around. And I don't think that's the case. When you're playing in Europe, especially the Champions League, when there's more games now than ever, there is going to be an opportunity for a team outside of the big pack to potentially swoop in. And Brighton at a nice price would be one of the sides I'd be monitoring. Okay,
and secondly, it's to Bournemouth. I'm interested just on staking plan here, Mark. So Brighton in around 5, 6.0, Bournemouth in around 9, 10.0, 11.0. Betting both in these top 6 market, would you go 60? Would you go for those same returns, for example, with those 2 bets if you're splitting your stakes, or what would you do?
Probably 60-40 in Brighton's favour. For Bournemouth, again, no European football is a big advantage. This is the team now who have achieved a club record points haul in 2 successive seasons under Iraola. Their joint best league finished last season, most wins in a top flight season. It's easy to forget they were 5th in February before tailing off with just 3 wins in their final 13 games. I think a lot of that is down to their sort of energetic and aggressive style. Injuries also hit them quite hard as well. Yes, they've lost Howson and Kirkes, 2 big losses, but they've earned big money from 2 players who could almost describe as kind of one-season wonders for Bournemouth. And I think left-back has already been sold because they've added Adrien Truffert from Rennes. He was one of the best Ligue 1's standout left-backs last season. So he should slot in nicely. And going forward, I don't think there's anything really to worry about because Evan Nilsson had a very solid debut season despite having a few injury issues. Kluivert and Semenyo have come on leaps and bounds under Iraola's watch. And this is a team who finished 6th on expected points by my ratings, which shows they were a force to be reckoned with last season. I don't think we should sleep on them just because they've sold 2 of their better players. As I say, I think one's been very capably addressed. Perhaps they do need another centre-half, but they've got the money in the bank now. They can and probably will do some business before the end of August. I wouldn't be sleeping on Bournemouth at all.
Okay, so that's Brighton and Bournemouth in the top 6 market on Matchbook.